Time now to welcome our next live guest. We have Aaron Dannenbring, the CEO over at Rand McNally. Aaron, thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to be here. Nice to see you, Kaylee.
You guys have some exciting news from Rand McNally when it comes to an acquisition that you guys just made and announced actually this morning. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this morning we announced we acquired an amazing, innovative company in Perth, Australia called Fleetsu. Fleetsu is going to become Rand McNally Australia, and we are just beyond delighted to welcome them to our family. Fleetsu's got an incredibly rich, robust capability to manage data coming from connected vehicle fleets, the kinds of trucks moving freight on the roads all over the world, and we're really excited to welcome that team to the family to bolster our already strong platform data and analytics capabilities.
So, Aaron, nice to have you on the show this morning. Thank you for coming on here. Really exciting news. Can you get into who Fleetsu is and how it exactly fits into your growth plans?
Absolutely. So Fleetsu is a connected vehicle technology company. So they serve vehicle fleets, long-haul trucking fleets. They serve smaller vehicle fleets. And really what they provide is a set of technologies and services to improve vehicle efficiency, to improve fuel management, driver safety, and what have you. Rand McNally is a company. We have a very broad customer base that uses our technology today, whether those are navigation devices or telematics devices. And really what Fleetsu is going to bring to us is an incredible amount of innovation that allows us to really bolster those capabilities so that drivers using our products and vehicle fleets running on our platform will have ever more efficient routes, ever more efficient and safe driver experiences and what have you. You know, one of the things that I was listening to the last segment and talking about inflation, and we know that vehicle fleets today are very concerned about the cost of certainly carrying all of that freight around this country. And so for us to be able to add improved services that drive that efficiency, make those experiences more safe, lower insurance premiums, we think that there's tremendous upside to improving the experience that fleet owners have in this country.
So Aaron, you guys are a Chicago-based company there at Rand McNally, and now you have this acquisition in Western Australia, which is really cool when it comes to that expansion of the global footprint. Can you talk a little bit about your goals with the acquisition and now this expansion into Australia? I feel like a lot of tech companies don't necessarily see Australia as a place to jump into, right?
Yeah, so Australia is a really interesting market for us. Generally speaking, it's the team at Fleetsu has built just an incredibly robust portfolio down there. They have a very strong customer base, including Toyota Australia, which we think is certainly a proof of the kind of capabilities that they're delivering into the Australian market. But really what this acquisition is going to do is allow us to take some of those capabilities into the North American market and offer it to our customer base, as well as it provides a real platform for springboarding our international growth. Rand McNally, in a lot of ways, is an American icon. We grew up with transportation in the United States and have been very involved in the movement of people and goods for 166 years. And what we're doing with this Fleetsu acquisition will springboard our international aspiration, as well as allow us to offer better products and services to drive fleet efficiencies here in the U.S.
Yeah, Aaron, it's the innovations are tremendous. I remember the innovation of taking the folding map and putting it into a book. That one I love that one. And it just continues to get better and better. But why was now the time to do it? What made now the time to make this move?
Yeah, if you look out over the next decade, the estimates for growth in connected vehicle technologies, growth in fleet management capabilities is tremendous. Allied Market Research estimates that by 2030, that market will be something approaching $53 billion globally. So it's a tremendous market, tremendously growing. Rand McNally has a very strong footprint, but we recognize that to both capture our fair share of that market, as well as to position us for further innovations that are happening in that market, that we felt the time was now to add this kind of capability into our already strong engineering footprint. One of the things that we're also seeing over the next decade, of course, as everyone knows, is this shift from internal combustion engines to EVs. And the Fleetsu platform is perfectly positioned to handle that. They've already got strong capabilities in the EV space. And so as vehicle fleets become electrified, this provides some future proofing for us in that dynamic as well.
So Aaron, let's talk a little bit about kind of the future landscape of the market. The last 18 months has been just on fire when it comes for freight tech mergers and acquisitions. Can you talk a little bit about what you think the future looks like in the M&A space, specifically around maybe Rand McNally and their plans to expand further?
Yeah, so we're very, very lucky. Our shareholder, Taleo Capital, is a growth-oriented shareholder, and Taleo really is providing the capital, the expertise, and vision for us to be able to make moves like this. Rand McNally has strong growth aspirations. We have no other M&A plans at this time. However, with the backing of Taleo Capital, with the growth that we're experiencing, I do think that there will be further deals in the works down the road. So we're very hungry. We have strong aspiration. We have incredible backing, and we're looking forward to that growth journey ahead.
So, Aaron, let's go back just a couple of points earlier when you were talking about the efficiencies that these new product offerings that you can bring to the marketplace will have for the carriers. I would imagine that reduction of carbon footprint would be one of those as well. But can you get into that? Does this add dashboards and interactive play with your products in order to have those changing dynamics within the industry?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So if you look at some of those big trends out there, it is really, really important to be able to offer the kinds of sort of dashboard level measures both in the cab of the truck to help a driver understand how their driver behaviors are impacting fleet efficiency, whether that is consumption of diesel fuel or whether it's harsh braking, harsh acceleration, the kinds of behaviors that are going to really impact the efficiency and performance of that fleet. But it's also important that fleet managers understand the overall performance of their fleets. And the Fleetsu capabilities provide deep access into data coming off of those long-haul trucks, as well as a very, very sophisticated platform for analyzing that data, showing it to customers, and making sure customers are able to make the right kinds of informed decisions in terms of how they are managing their trucking fleets.
Aaron, you had mentioned the capabilities and the connectivity that Fleetsu provides with the EV space, but I'm curious about if there's any opportunity for you guys in the AV space as well. Obviously, not the fully autonomous space, but any types of level 2 autonomy, any types of stuff like that where your telematics and your software platforms connect with that slight level of autonomy?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is absolutely on our roadmap in terms of direction that we'll be heading, is to make sure that kind of ADAS level functionality gets brought into the platform that we can understand, especially as it comes to driver behaviors and what's happening there and how that's exposed via our platform back to the fleet headquarters. So we think that that's a really interesting, rich space, and very excited to play a role there.
Yeah, I would think that a lot of your feedback would be used in the testing and development of AV and those efficiencies and the, I guess, a living route rather than a static route, right? Is that the route you're going?
That's exactly right. So one of the things that Rand McNally is kind of synonymous, right, is that you mentioned it earlier, right? We're at our heart and core, it's a mapping company. And Rand McNally today has a significant amount of mapping data that's used for purposes of vehicle navigation, heavy fleet navigation, heavy fleet routing. And as we expand those data sets in a complement to the actual sensor data that we're getting from the vehicles, if you can imagine the intersection of understanding, kind of what's happening on the roadway with where that vehicle is and how that vehicle is performing, there's tremendous value that can be unlocked at the intersection of those kind of geospatial mapping data sets and live sensor data coming from vehicle fleets.
And before we let you go today, how quickly do you guys expect this integration to take place with Fleetsu? And then how quickly can your customers and your clients start to see the benefits of this acquisition?
Yep, so that's a great question. So we have already begun the integration. So our integration work is up and running and has been actually for quite some time. So we expect that some customers, especially customers that are taking kind of very bespoke functionality that the Fleetsu platform offers, can be up and running in very short order. For customers running our ELD devices that are running on the Rand McNally platform today, that are kind of our core customer base, we'll be transitioning those devices over the course of the next year as different device classes and different vehicle types will transition. So this is going to be a journey for us, but we'll see some customers transitioning in a matter of a few short weeks, and other customers will transition over the course of the coming months.
Excellent stuff, Aaron. Thank you so much for being on the show. Where do people go to learn more about this acquisition and what you're doing there at Rand McNally?
You can go to randmcnally.com if you're interested in our growth journey. Find us on LinkedIn. We're hiring. We've got big aspirations, and we're looking forward to the future.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much. Great to be with you.
Andy used geospatial.
It's the buzzword of the day. Alan was right.